Hello guys, my name is Mandy and I'm 21 years old. Currently, I'm a kindergarten teacher. My job now is a Chinese teacher in my own center who teach 5 years old.
I'm a teacher in a private school. I'm teaching secondary for upper secondary, but it's a national syllabus. Also the head of subject of physics.
I'm the head of academics for ICT College, and I've been teaching for the past 12 years.
Talking about lifestyle, my lifestyle as a kindergarten teacher is not it's not colorful as other teenage. It's not like other people that same age with me. Because I'm a teacher, right? Then I need to do marking, a lot of stuff like lesson planning and preparing a lot of learning materials for the kids. And after I come back from my works, actually I don't have many lifestyle or hobbies activity that I plan to do much of, because I have to do a lot of stuff like this after work, and my lifestyle and my weekend actually is packed with a lot of stuff.
So basically, because I'm in the private school, so our school ends at 3:40. So when the student leave, then we also can go back at 3:40. Then the teacher can go back. But of course, I do some extra work. So that's why after school, I will do my so-called extra work or part-time anything lah.
One of the few things that makes changes to your lifestyle is that you don't actually have an off switch, unlike other industries, because of how things are operated within the education industry. For example, if we finish work and we go home after a long day of lecture, the work doesn't stop, because then it will be marking. So similar to school teachers, so what people see is what they work during in class, but the things that happen beyond the classroom is where I would say at least about 60-70% of the work is. So for any student engagements, with clients, the preparation work that goes behind that, preparing for the next day's lessons, marking of assignments and homework, and preparing materials for the classes for the next day, is not repetitive, because we are in the media industry and the media changes very, very quickly. So in terms of lifestyle, I would say irregular, similar to people who are in the communication industry. We are quite irregular, but our irregularity is sort of pre-planned, because we have semesters, we have a plan that works into it.
Actually, it's quite a lot. What public think of kindergarten teacher? Maybe they would think of, not maybe, a lot of them think that kindergarten teacher is like, it's an easy job, because they are teaching ABC 1, 2, 3, 1 to 10 only. It's an easy job, I can do also. And kindergarten teacher is an easy job because what they do every day is cleaning the kids pee like that, and shower the kids, give the kids meal, give the kids water like that. It's an easy job for the public lah. But for us kindergarten teacher, it's not an easy job. It's not an easy job, because what we are doing now is not teaching ABC, it's not teaching 1, 2, 3 only, it's not cleaning their poo, it's not cleaning their pee every day. What we do for the children is, because kindergarten, early childhood education is a basic, very important foundation for the young children. Because before they enter primary school, before they enter secondary school, and before they go to college or university, they need to have a good foundation in education, right? So early childhood education is an important foundation for them. Our job is to teach them. Our job is to build their foundation skill since they are young, because during their young age, it is easy for them to learn and easy for them to absorb this knowledge and skill before they enter to any school, primary school, college or secondary school.
Usually when they talk about as a teacher or teaching, most of them we thought it's an easy job. Okay, they say that easy, right? Go there, go to class and teach, and then finish. Then you can go home, and then a lot of free times. But they don't understand that for a good educator, there's a lot of preparation work to do. Before the class, there's a preparation work. But for myself, so there's a lot of preparation work before the class. After the class end, usually for me, there's a lot of marking, okay, and of course, usually for me, I do some reflection. Okay, what happened to the class just now? What happened today? So how to improve? How to get good result? To get more attention for the student? I will do some reflection by myself, usually after school. They were taught that if you got chance opportunity, then you go to become a lawyer, doctor, engineer, something like that. If you say you have no choice, so-called desperate, then you say, okay, you go become teacher, because teacher is a field that easy for you to join. But they don't realize that there's a lot of work.
I would say the main misconception, misperceptions of people in the education industry is that we are very free, right? Or because based on Malaysian standards, lecturers normally teach below 20 hours a week, and if you reflect that to someone that's working a 9-to-5 job, that feels like there is a lot of reduction in the hours that they're working. And on top of that, most education institutions have some sort of flexibility of the working hours for academics. So a lot of people feel that we have a very easygoing lifestyle, and it's a very fun job and stress-free. But actually, we deal with humans, we deal with students, we deal with students' lives. And especially in this day and age, whereby one could argue that for some households, students' interaction with their lecturers could be significantly much more than their communications with their immediate family, maybe. So in terms of that, we and how we teach and everything that we do does impact people's lives. So we take that into something that we consider on a day-to-day basis when we speak to students, in terms of trying to understand them as well. We need to make our classes relevant. Even when we have a bad day, we can't have a bad day. We still need to energize ourselves for the sake of the students, because if we are not interested, then the class will not be interested. So keeping that positivity is actually something that's not easy. And as I mentioned earlier, in terms of our lifestyle, it doesn't really stop, because we do our markings, we do our preparations beyond that class. And there's also other duties that we actually do.
Firstly, that the most important one that government has just mentioned this year, have just enlightened this issue this year, that kindergarten teacher need to have at least diploma in early childhood education. Beside of this, if you don't have diploma in early childhood education, but at least need to have a basic foundation in SPM, you need to have SPM certificate. Other than this qualification, for me, because as a kindergarten teacher, we need to face a lot of children that comes with different background of families, and they have different characteristics, actually, because they came from different culture, different background of families, and not every children is good. Not every children is easy to educate, easy to teach. With this, we need to have the most important one, caring.
Private school, not much actually. As long, of course, you need to have graduated from university, you hold is a degree holder. I think the most important part as an educator is passion. It's a passion. You need to have passion in educate the kids?
Depending on what level of tertiary institution you are teaching on. So for example, a degree holder will be able to teach diploma and foundation and certificate level. So you can only teach one level below you, right? With a master's degree, then obviously you can teach a degree or advanced diploma and things like that. So basically it's one level, you can teach one level below you in the education. So that those are the qualifications that is needed by the Malaysian law for anyone that is teaching within the Malaysian institution.
My advice for you guys is you need to have a lot of patience, caring, and the most important one, responsibility. Because we teach and educate students. Students are the future generation that maybe will lead the whole country. And we need to have that responsibility to teach them, to educate what we know. The most important one, you need to trust yourself. Just stay positive what you have planned in your mindset. Because teacher actually is a job that it's very enjoyable job actually. And once you step in this field, and sometimes maybe you will feel tired because of a lot of desk work, a lot of staff, and a lot of people you might facing, the parents you might facing. But just bear in mind and just remember, just keep on telling yourself that don't give up and stay positive and stay what you have hold in your mind.
You need to find your passion first. If you know that you like teaching, you have the passion to teach, to deliver knowledge, to teach the kids to learn something. If you have that, then go ahead to become a teacher. But of course, make sure that you really know that you like to teach. Teaching is a long-term career. You can teach for very, very long time, as long as you have the passion to teach it.
I will give you one piece of advice and one warning. I will start with the warning first. Warning is that the teaching industry is not an exit industry. That means what I'm saying is, it's not a job that you fall back on, or that because you think that it's easy. Because as I said earlier, you deal with people's lives. So think carefully before you go into education industry, because it is an industry that directly impacts the students that you're dealing with. So think very, very carefully. And what are the important piece of advice will be, you need to enjoy what you do. If you know that you want to be a lecturer or someone in education, then you need to get the relevant qualifications. You need to get the relevant training. At the same time, you also need to experience the industry. For example, if you're in advertising, you need to go into the advertising industry for at least a few years so that you get those kind of experience that you can then impart onto the students.